Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Snow and Lambeau, Coach. Something about that combo that just works, like peanut butter and jelly. And we've got half a foot of the white stuff and still coming down here in Green Bay. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They will be led out by their 6'2 quarterback, the former Richmond Spider, Kyle Lauletta. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Coming off play action, Lauletta. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Back to throw, Lauletta. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable 3rd down receiver.
On 2nd down, Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On third down, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Tighten up, tighten up.
They start the drive with Cook. Good move, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
You can't block me. You can't block me. You can't block me.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by Jair Alexander, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
Ah, you're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski, okay? Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word.
Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there and looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 15 carries, 82 yards. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they got to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase him.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Packer football here, first down and 10. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
6-man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Easy work, it's coming again.
On second down now, it's Jones. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Now this throw caught left side. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 74 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on first and goal. From the gun, here's Lauletta. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Jamon Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. It's like, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On second down, it's Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football.
In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And this will be gathered up in the end zone. And that's a defensive touchdown. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. Now, these are not going to be easy on a cold, snowy night, but this one is up and through. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. And now it's down to a 1-score game.
Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now a man open down the middle of the field and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Come on, set, 10 logo. Too little, cut.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lauletta throwing right, and that's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Kyle Lauletta and company back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. On first down, Benjamin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Throwing is Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, and it's 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Vikings on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Cousins. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why I ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. They'll run on first down. Benjamin. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Cousins. It's caught. Smith. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it'll bring up third down. Cousins from the gun on third. It's complete to Diggs. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. They go play action here on first down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch the slant.
A shotgun snap to Lauletta. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. On the delay, Jones. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph. From just shy of midfield, Lauletta, a dump underneath to Jones. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get our tour started out at Venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Cotton and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
From the 38, Lauletta, and that is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, but now it'll be 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll fake the handoff. Now Lauletta. And Graham's got it. Complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Lauletta back to the air, and that's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Lauletta steps away. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A gain of 6 there on 1st. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a first down. First down, here's the run with Cook. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They run it again with Cook. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
A throw over the middle taken in, and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Linval Joseph able to record his 5th sack of the season. And for the defense, their 3rd sack of the game.
That number tells you that they're starting to put it together with their defensive game plan. They're starting to feel pretty good about what the offense is doing, bringing the pressure at the right time, and putting the quarterback on the ground.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Lauletta. Caught by Jones. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Lauletta now to throw it. He may try and run for this. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Out of the gun, Lauletta. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Let's go. 10 Lobo. Mike 54. Gotta do better. Ready?
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. The connection made. It's Graham. 7 yards on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
42's the Mike. 42's the Mike. Tighten up, tighten up.
This is 3rd and long. Here's Lauletta. Forced out to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And his bid for the 1st down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Cook following the penalty. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing is Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight, and he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Throwing, Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's taken down inside the 30. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
On 2nd down now, Benjamin. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Point after, right down the middle, and that will get them 1 closer. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've got the lead here getting late into the 3rd quarter. The passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A great Monday night to wrap up the week in football. 2 division rivals and a great finish ahead as we come up on 1st and 10. Now here's Lauletta. This one to the right, caught by Valdez-Scantling. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. On 2nd and a couple, Lauletta. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Packers on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Lauletta. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. The Vikings on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
Let's go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To the air again, it's Cousins. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other plays.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Stephen Weatherly, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Another try after the first down sack. Lauletta, and that's complete to Adams. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta. They'll roll him out right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Complete to Jones. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And this was still going to be a one-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the fourth.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Cousins now. And Diggs has it. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 7 yards there and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Cousins again. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They'll throw again. Cousins. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Single receiver.
Now Cousins on 4th down. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. Dashing through the snow. 20, 10, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
They can't see us.
So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation, turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Here we go. Watch the pass.
Not what you wanted there, 3rd and 2.
And this is something you've worked on in practice from the time you were in training camp, yet you still create your own mistakes.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter, and don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just 1 score. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And as we peer at the numbers, he got off to a struggling start, but since then really found his rhythm.
And I think that comes together with not just the halftime adjustments, but just that quiet confidence. If you just keep doing the things you've been working on, eventually there will be creases. You know, find those gaps in the defense, keep working on them, and maybe what didn't happen very well for you in the beginning of the game, it starts to open up as the game moves on.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. A shotgun snap to Lauletta. It's caught. Jones. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Mike 42, Mike 42.
On 2nd and 9, Lauletta. It's caught here by Adams. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 22 yards there, a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. This is Jones. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Going the other way.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
So Cousins and the Vikings down by 5, 2:11 to go. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now a throw over the middle, and he's got it to start the drive. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Benjamin. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. He's back to throw.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll try the left side. Benjamin, and he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Back to throw. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So now it's 4th and goal. 1 play for the win. Other than that, not a very exciting finish.
Just a walk in the park.
Yeah, ho-hum.
Yeah, ho-hum. I know one thing, though. I'm making someone beat me other than their top receiver.
And he'll get it only to about the 3 and no further as they stop him. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. This will be taken at the 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice
don't
it
they?
all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Watch 84. Watch 84. He's going.
He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
We got 4.
Now Cousins. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, overexcited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. Pressure kick, and I thought he was going to hit it. I thought we were destined for overtime, but not the case.
Not at all, and they were already planning for the overtime you just mentioned, already saying, okay, what are we going to do if we get the ball? What happens on defense? Instead of that celebration and that little bit of euphoria, it turned into letdown city.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. It's still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
And they will take a knee here. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And despite the cold, despite the snow, This one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing two things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So for the Packers, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now on the year, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.